ربانيين بما كنتم تعلمون الكتاب وبما كنتم تدرسون. وقال تعالى: والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله لمع المحسنين. صدق الله العظيم. My dear brothers and dear sisters, ulama, dear elders, I don't see any young people here. Is anybody young here? I'm not judging, I'm not judging. Our elders, our youngsters, you can put yourself in each other's category. Are you understanding my English? Or should I change to Bangla? Shall I speak in Bangla or should I speak in English? English okay? Next day, I have to learn Bangla. Make dua for me. I have to get married to Bangladeshi wife. Then I can speak Bangla. The topic is very complicated. If you see the topic of the bayan, it's very complicated. So we ask Allah for help to understand. This is my first time in Bangladesh and my first time in Chittagong. So I don't know what the culture is. In England, we have people from Sinnet, not from Chittagong. So I know Sinnet culture, not Chittagong. Okay? So I'm going to give a small bayan. Then, if anyone has any question about Islam and culture, we will inshallah try to discuss it. Is that okay? Inshallah. मतलब कि मुझे यहाँ का कल्चर मालूम नहीं है, तो इंशाअल्लाह थोड़ा सा बयान होगा इस टॉपिक के ऊपर, और उसके बाद आपके पास अगर कोई सवाल हो यहाँ आप किस कल्चर के बारे में, तो फिर इंशाअल्लाह आप पूछ लेना और इंशाअल्लाह हम उसको डिस्कस करेंगे इंशाअल्लाह। रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he first received the revelation, and he started calling people towards Islam, submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There were many things that the Quraysh were doing. वहाँ ये तहसील वहाँ के कल्चर, तो उनमें से काफी चीजें ये फरमाया कि पगड़ी it has to be on the hat, jogging it up, because that's the difference between us and the mushrik. Mushrik also used to wear turban, but without the hat, just turban. The difference between us and them is that we have turban with a hat. They have to without hat. So in some things like this, he made a change. In the clothing, there wasn't much change. People used to wear hoodie, which we call izar in Arabic. And mashallah, Bangladesh still follows this sunnah of lungi. But I don't see too many lungis. I only see 2 people with lungi. Everybody else is wearing trousers. 3 lungi. Right? This is a good culture. But the Prophet also, he wore shalwar, sirwar. But mostly he wore hoodie, and he wore a shawl. This was, but the people in those days, they used to do that. They used to also cover their faces from the sand. So, some things he did not change. The women of Medina, of Yathrib, they did not dress properly. They used to reveal their bodies. They did not do that. वो हमेशा अच्छी तरह से हिजाब या अपने बदन को वो कवर नहीं करते थे. once Asma radiallahu anha, she came in front of him and she had clothing which was revealing parts of the body in the beginning. So the Prophet turned his face away. He said, "This is not good. A woman cannot show anything except the face and hands." So like
Abdur-Rahman bin
this,
Yusuf.
he upgraded the culture, updated the culture.
Abdur-Rahman bin Yusuf.
Alhamdulillah, all Muslim culture is good. Bangladeshi culture, Kashmiri culture, Gujarati culture, Arabian culture, Egyptian culture. Because it has Muslims for hundreds of years, it's good. But every culture, there's always something wrong. Every culture has something wrong. For example, some countries which are Muslim, they force their daughters to marry their cousins, even if they don't want to. And some people, their culture, one culture in Saudi Arabia, I could not believe this. My friend used to live far off place in Saudi. It's not everywhere in Saudi Arabia, just some tribes. Their culture is that the woman cannot show her face even to her husband. Can you believe it? I didn't believe it. I thought he's exaggerating. अपनी बीवी का चेहरा नहीं देख सकता है मैं कहा कि बच्चे कैसे होते हैं बच्चे हो जाते लेकिन चेहरा नहीं देख सकते. He told me this many years ago. I didn't believe it. I thought he does a bit of mubalaghah, he does a bit of exaggeration. So maybe he's exaggerating. Then some years later there was an Arabic report in one of the online that one man, his wife was sleeping with niqab and he moved the niqab to the bed. And he reported it. Can you imagine? She says, I understand why he looked at my face, but this is our culture, I have to report it. We sit here and think, what kind of culture? But that's the extreme. Most people don't know extreme. Their culture is, one culture is you go to someone's house as a mehman, guest, and they will force you to eat. If you don't eat, they get naraz. They get angry. They won't speak to you again for the rest of your life. And they will put food in your plate and force you to eat it. And you get stomach. They don't care about stomach, they just have to eat. That's one culture. Another culture I went to in Pakistan, in one area, they have to cook 10 dishes. 10 different dishes. 10 खाने पकाओ. अगर पैसे नहीं हैं तो लोन लेना. Otherwise it's not good. For guests. For guests. That's another culture. I went to Switzerland. I mean, 2 months ago. The culture there is if you're visiting someone's house, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you stay until dinner time. They will tell you it is now dinner time, can you please eat? We're going to eat now. अभी खाने का वक्त हो गया, आप चले जाओ, इससे कि हम खाने वाले हैं. For us, this is okay. How can you do this? It's a culture. They don't think it's bad. It's normal for them. They don't think it's bad. One of them went to Pakistan to a friend's house, and he kept him in his house. He fed him breakfast, dinner, lunch, everything. Then that person came. He made friends with a Pakistan. When he came to Switzerland, he stayed at his house in the morning time. He said to him, I'm going to work. If you want breakfast, there's a cafe down the road. He didn't feed it. Yes, they invite you for dinner and then feed you, but not otherwise. It's their culture. So, another culture. I have a friend in Egypt. He went to his friend's house. And his friend was the lady. He said, "Come and eat with me." He said, "I already had a car." He said, "Then I will come and you have to." He said, "No, my friend is careful. He doesn't like it too much." So he said, "No, you have to eat. You have to eat." My friend said, "No." He said, "If you don't eat, my wife is divorced." Each other, now she's going to get divorced if the friend doesn't eat. Like if the friend was stubborn, I don't care about your wife, I'm going to do whatever you want. This is just simple eating. There's so much culture. How do we decide what is good or bad? How do you decide which is good and which is bad? There's another culture. If you go to their house, they will ask you, "Would you like some tea?" And you would say, "No, no, no." They said, "Okay, no problem." And you think, "Oh, I wish I said yes." Because usually you say no, and then they say, "Have some, have some." "Oh, okay, have some." Takalluf, this is what you call in Arabic takalluf. And if you're hungry, okay, I will have some. If you're not hungry, make it simple. Sahaba amruhum takalluf. No one. Sahaba, nothing but that. What is sunnah? When somebody comes and what is sunnah? Sunnah is, if you know they're coming on the first day, one day, you have to do extra. It's sunnah, it's ضيافة المؤمن ثلاثة. 3 days of hospitality, 1 day of charity, 1 day you have to do extra. Other 2 days you, after that, the 3rd day, that's also Ibrahim. He used to like to have guests. And if someone had a guest, whatever was in his house, he would put it. Please have some. Have some. But they feel comfortable, they eat. He doesn't force, but he encourages. And whatever is there, he gives them. Number 2, very simple. If you come to my house, I tell this is simple. Whatever is there, we bring it, we put it in front of you. If you need to have it, you don't need no problem. Just have some water. In some cultures, you ask them for water. They don't give you water, they give you cocoa. Because they think water is low. They give you cocoa. They give you cocoa. The sunnah, we have to see what the Prophet does. For example, in one culture, if I owe you money, and after 1 week I can give you money, and I need to give you money here. They will say, it's okay, give me later. You've bought the money, take it. Otherwise I'm asking. Why say, oh, it's okay, give it later. Why are you giving it now? You want money? You know? This is just actually cultural thing. No benefit. It's just what we do. So, what the Prophet said is, whatever was good, he did it. Whatever was bad, he took it out. How do you know which part of your culture is good and bad? Tell me, how do you know which part of your culture is pure culture and which part is Islam? How do you know? You have to look and ask the brother, you have to do the practice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In England, we have Punjab, Somali, Bangladesh, Moroccan, Turkish. We live very close. Here, it's all language, most, right? But then we have different. So, we take the best from all of these countries. Whatever is bad in our country, we take it out. For example, one place where you have lots of problems, weddings. Lots of problems, weddings. For example, if the person has daughters, then he has to pay this much money. And it's like this. You know, UP in India, I was with a driver, he said, and I don't know how I'm going to get it correct. So I said, Mr. Love. He said, no, it's not that. I said, I have so much money. I said, oh, why don't you? He said, because this is our country. So they say it's severe, it's suffering. So we always ask, but it's difficult. Culture is very powerful. Some people's culture, they have no half in their family. If somebody wants to do this from their children, very difficult because everybody will say, why do you do this? I know another family, none of the women used to do hijab. None of them were nobody. One of the teenage, 17 years old, started covering. Everybody became Bukhari. Everybody opposed them. They said, you're causing problems, you're dividing my family, we can't come to your house anymore. You have to be careful now. And so she said, no, Bismillah, for Allah, I'm going to do it. One cousin, she started. Alhamdulillah, now after 25 presidents. The first person, I don't know what Chittagong culture is, I have no idea. But this is everywhere in our nation. For example, I am Gujarati, but I was born in London. But nothing here is Gujarati. This is Turkish. This is Emirati. This is Egyptian. Watch is Japanese. Pen is American. And socks are British. So Gujarati. But in Bangladesh you have more because everything is the same. So we just have to learn from the Prophet what is right, what is wrong. If there's anything bad, we have to try to calm, genuinely try to avoid it. Number two, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us, and the purpose of making us is to worship Him. That's what Allah says, to worship Him. When we live in this world, our hearts becomes different wrongs we see, different sins we do, bad thoughts we have, bad words we use, bad things we do. Our heart becomes dark. Prophet said that every time we do a sin, darkness, the black spot comes in, and it becomes black. When it becomes black, we don't have to feel good. We don't feel good inside. We don't feel like reading Quran. We don't feel like remembering Allah. MashaAllah, I think this is very happy. So it says, "Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub." And here it says, what does it say? وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِهِ. MashaAllah. So this is dhikr. Right? So dhikr. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, hadith of Sunnah al-Dhikr, إِنَّ هَذِهِ الْقُلُوبِ تُسْتَعْ كَمَا يُسْتَعُ الْحَدِيدُ. These hearts, they become rusty, just like iron in the process. You know, you have iron piping or metal, and some water touches it, and the air touches it, it becomes rusty. You have to polish it, clean it, look after it. Same with the heart, it has to be looked after. Otherwise, today, social media, YouTube, TikTok, and just keep watching, and unless you're very careful, you only watch good. Otherwise, this is big fitna. Biggest fitna of today is the mobile phone. Very difficult to avoid harm. Very difficult. Or to not listen to some people or some other problem. Especially election time. That's very difficult. Because there's so much discussion going on. Allah make it easy. And Allah give us somebody above us. And the politicians who are good, righteous, pious, and caring. We have to make this law. Because it's necessary to our leaders. It's part of the system of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ was the Amir. After Abu Bakr was the Khalif. Then we have to walk home. We have to start. May Allah make many people instead of that. Alhamdulillah, many people are happy now. I just went to Syria after 50. Because it's necessary to our leaders. It's part of the system of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ was the Amir. I went to Abu Bakr was the Khalif. Then we have to walk home. But they have to start. Allah make it easy for them. I just went to see stop us from having 10 like this place. Because it's necessary to our leaders. It's part of the system. The Prophet was the Amir. I went to Abu Bakr then we have to walk home. But they have to start. And see us. But in this world, if we have a good heart, we have a good thoughts. We have a good attitude. If you have a bad heart, then the attitude will be bad. The thoughts will be bad. The speech will be bad. It's just difficult to control how the heart is. If the heart is good, everything is good. As the Prophet said. So the Prophet said these hearts will become rusty. Just like metal, iron, becomes rusty. Then he says, قيل يا رسول الله الصحابة said, يا رسول الله how do you punish? Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, ذكر الموت وتلاوة القرآن. Remember your death and recite the Quran. The Quran tells you what to do. Recite the Quran with the meaning, with the punishment, and remember death. When somebody remembers death, it shows how insignificant this life is, how short this life is, how weak this life is. So then if you're arrogant, if you show off, and you die, suddenly all of that goes off. Because I don't understand Allah. That's the benefit of remembering death. When you don't remember death, you feel confident, especially if you have money. If you have money, you have position. Then Shaitan makes us think you don't need anything else. In Nuh alayhi salam's time, the wealthy people say, "Hi Islam, are we going to believe in?" While the poor people are your fathers. Poor people, because they're helpless. So they feel that they need to call on Allah. But when you have money, even though we're Muslims, we forget about Allah because money can buy you. And especially in countries like this, you have money to live a very luxurious life. It's very easy in these countries. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, how wonderful is halal in the hands of a righteous person. My encouragement to everyone is obey Allah and His Messenger and make lots of money. Do the job and learn build masjid without money. You can't build madrasa without money. You can't do anything. You can't do dawah without money. You need money. Do you know Qatar? They have football World Cup. Small country. How did that happen? Because of money. They even changed the time of year from summer to winter. Not to that, it's not of money. But mashallah, they have opportunity for dawah. The sheikh, he came the day before he was going to start. And all of the advertisements have taken away. So the Football Federation said, we have a contract with this beer alcohol company. We have to have this. He said, no problem, just sue us. I'm going to take it up, but just sue us. I'm taking it up, no problem. Can you believe it? They have the city, they have so many dawah stores, Qurans, so many beautiful things. They have a ceremony. We call it the starting ceremony for the world. I'm not interested in football. But somebody told me that the BBC did not show it. So there must be something why the BBC doesn't show it. I watched it. I'm not sure if it was dark. Just drops. No one is there. No women. That has a Quran. Now I asked for a message. Then in YouTube, underneath there was the China World Cup opening ceremony. I just looked at it, lots of women, and how it's different. With money, you can do whatever you want. People with money, people in the world with money, in governance now. So make lots of halal and think of the very necessary. The point is that always made dua, guidance for the Taj. And Taj will come to the Yusuf and Taj will Nabi مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء. The righteous, the truth, the truthful business, and the trustworthy business will be with the prophets, the Siddiqeen and the Shuhada on the day of judgment. If you have money, you have a good chance to be with the prophets. There was a big his name was Qadi Siddiq very big. What do you call? So when he was young, he was very old. He had that much money. He was in a village. He said that I need some extra. So I'm going to the town and I'm buying some vegetables. I would come to the village and send them to make a bit of extra money because I teach. So he wanted a bit of extra money to survive. But he was very quiet, very introverted person. When he started selling vegetables to the public, he felt very embarrassed. It's not easy to sell vegetables. So he was going to give it up. Then he remembered this country and he said, I'm going to do it for this. I'm going to do it for Imam Abdur-Rahman was a businessman first, before he became Imam. Very successful business. And when he become like everybody. Only when he think about 20, a woman came and asked him a question. You look like a sheikh. What is the masala? He said, I don't know. Imam Muhammad ibn Sulaiman is teaching. Go on, ask him. Whatever his answer is, comments are. So she went and came back and told him, said, SubhanAllah, I need to study as well. And he went back and sat with the Imam of the other and he became the Imam and then he followed. So money is not about it's what money does to you. Money is very dangerous. As much as it's beneficial, it's dangerous. You know, Urdu, they say asleep. Have you heard this? How do you say this in Bangla? The mischief of money. How do you say this in Bangla? There you go. Whatever that is. Okay. Yeah, so money has the ability to corrupt you. Because when you have too much money, you think you're better than everyone. You become arrogant. No, Allah. You think you don't need Allah. Because you can buy whatever you want, you don't need to answer. But money, do the right thing with money. There was one big Mufti in Saudi. He's like, he did so much work for the people. They have a translation of so many books into English. I don't think how to learn you living. He said, my family, my very good, they give me a wages, a salary, just to do things. They do business, and then they work feasibly. So I just do feasibly work, and I get my wages. If you have money, have none of your children become good at it, and tell you just work for the deen for free, we'll give you the money. You understand? Just thinking outside the box, thinking differently, how can I have a better money? How can I be accepted by Allah? How can I clean my heart? How do we clean our heart? Something to go. Outside of Allah, we're thinking of everything. Whether it be business or sports or whatever. How can we get focused in ourselves? We have to train ourselves. Especially today, we are very distracted because of always looking for message. So every day spend 5 minutes just remembering Allah. Just sit and think Allah. Just think of Allah. Allah says, وَذْكُرِ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ. Remember the name of your Lord. Remember the name of your Lord. وَذْكُرِ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ. Just think Allah. La ilaha illallah. And just focus. Do some istighfar. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Morning and evening. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah salli ala sayyidina. Anybody with that one song, Allah says, send us. And we need this. We're and read some Quran. At least once in our life, we should read Quran with the meaning. Because this is Allah's message. In the hereafter, Allah will say, "Should read my message." I read it, but I don't understand it. Alhamdulillah, we still read it, but try to understand. Get a translation. Or listen to ulama translating and tafsir. At least on the whole Quran. That is how we will understand Allah. That is how we will become understand. The more we understand Allah, the more we will love Him and honor Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it. have any questions about anything I said or about culture or thinking about things you can ask, we will try to answer. Yes, that's fine.
My question is regarding the topic about culture.
Which one?
About the culture.
Culture.
Topic that is the culture, that is it's very topic. The question is basically, is Islam a culture in itself or is it a cultural modifier? Because I have done some study myself and it actually coincided with your discussion today. And it appeared to me that Islam is not a culture in itself, but rather it is a cultural modifier. It blends into the culture and modifies whatever is good in it, better in it, whatever is bad in it, it improves. So is it
Go ahead with the question. Jazakallah. Very good question. Islam, everything in Islam, what the Prophet ﷺ was saying, except that Salah is very particular, one way of Salah, with some modification. Whether you raise your hands or raise your hands. But when it comes to clothing, what is Islamic clothing? So the Prophet ﷺ wore sometimes izar and sometimes and sometimes. But he never said it's prohibited to wear a bangla style or Punjabi or Hindi. Nothing wrong. They had pockets here. They would have pockets here. There's nothing wrong with this. He gave boundaries rather than doing this. Ibadah, yes, but in everything else, food. He ate certain foods which were available. Right? But he just said, this is haram food, and everything else is halal. So did he eat royals or simple mouse? Did Prophet eat royals, simple mouse? No, he didn't. What he did he ate. Prophet you eat. Did he eat? No. But it's halal because there's nothing wrong with it. But anything with alcohol, so he gave boundaries. Likewise, when it comes to the way you talk, he did not speak Malayalam. That is fine. So Islam gives boundaries. It lets you maintain your culture, the good parts of the culture, not the bad part. So it modifies your culture, takes out the bad and preserves the good. That's the answer. Do we have some cultural water? Just a second, and you're next. You know what it's yeah. Yeah, I can't answer that question because I don't know what culture you're talking about. What aspect of culture? Sorry? What's wrong with talking about relatives? I need proper question, like conversation. Oh, female interaction. So what's the culture?
So typically it's culture here is to
Okay, even you talk about what? Okay. Yeah. So Okay, so because you say how much it's a culture that you compete with your cousins, you marry. So what you have to do first is just talk to them nicely and say, this is from the day. And this new world, which is hyper-cultural, everybody thinks online, maybe it still wasn't right, but it's easier. Now it's more difficult. And then you explain this, that is why I try to say so. So, inshallah, when you reach from the Quran, and inshallah, but some people like, for example, if I sit my I don't talk to Assalamu alaikum, alhamdulillah. If I have a need, is your mom okay? I need to come and visit your mom one time. Nothing wrong with that. But some people are so extreme. Once I was with a friend, we went to a shop. So there was a woman who was serving. So she said, Assalamu alaikum. He said, "Wa alaikum assalam," and I gave her money. Then he said, Assalamu alaikum. No, she said, "Salam to both of us." I said, "Wa alaikum assalam." So then we came outside. He said, "That was like." He said, "Why didn't you say wa alaikum assalam? If your cousin says salam, you say salam. That's still a problem. But if I just say in chat, what you do, that's because then you're not maham. With your aunt, your grandmother, your niece, but not with your cousin. Not that I can't. That's not a problem. That's what I'm saying. It'll take a while. If the culture is to evolve, don't expect to change it into the beginning. Just to follow the thinking and keep reminding them and be nice. And show them the love. Get that? The 14 months. Yeah. What about? Yeah, this is no question. I need 1 hour to learn about this, but I will explain it quickly. Yeah, so the Prophet ﷺ passed away, and as Islam spread, how long we have? Yes. So Islam spread into Persian lands, Turkic lands, throughout North Africa, and people started asking questions. Is this halal haram? Is halal? So the Sahaba, Umar bin when the question was asked, and what did you learn of the Prophet? Because not every Sahabi knew everything. Because they weren't always there with the Prophet. So they would take everybody's hadith, and then they would decide this or that. For example, in one hadith, somebody Sahaba reports, the Prophet said that another Sahabi says the Prophet said it's okay to kiss your wife. Aisha so one says you can't, one says you can. Which one is right? Which one is right? You know? So the Sahaba looked at this. The ulama afterwards looked at this. They said the first to give answers. Because the Prophet said, if they good jurist, faqih, scholar, makes which means he does his best effort to look at the Quran and Sunnah and provide a ruling, a masala. If he is right with Allah, because Allah has one true right, he gets 2 rewards. And if he's wrong, he still gets 1 reward for trying. Amazing. So, there were many brothers. There was Abu Hanifa, Shafi'i, there was Imam al-Awza'i, there was Layth ibn Sa'd, there was Ibn Hazm al-Qadi, Ibn Jarir al-Qadri, and others. They were in their areas, they were just doing understanding God's slowly, most of them died out because everybody just from Imam Shafi'i, Abu Hanifa, Ahmed. So, Allah's will that it just became reduced to this form in the first 100 years and 50 years. Now today there are some people, they say, don't follow Imam, follow Quran and Sunnah. Okay? If somebody wants to follow Quran and Sunnah, and they have mashallah full life, we must follow Quran and Sunnah. So I've been studying the deen of Persian. So I started following Quran and Sunnah direct. And if I follow us, meaning they must they gotta say wrong. Brother, I'm following Quran and Sunnah. No. Allah said that this is not Quran and Sunnah. But it is Quran and Sunnah. Look, here's the hadith. Our Shaykh al-Albani, he said, not Muslim. Or from being a Shaykh al-Albani, what are they doing? They're following a mother. They're following a fifth mother. But they're just claiming it's Quran. Everything in Quran can be proven through hadith and Quran. So, if you want to follow a fifth mother, follow the logic. But don't say everybody else is wrong. Because these 4 mothers are older, 1,300 years old. The mother you're following is 50 years old. Why should I follow that? Why don't I follow the classes? Which, so I usually ask people, maybe 3 ulama pastors. And we find out, maybe 3 famous ulama that we respect. And we find out why they follow another. To show this is a new bid'ah to follow a fiqh. So let's try this. Just name me 3 ulama that you think are very famous, everybody knows them before 100 years ago. After the Sahaba, name me.
Sufyan al-Thawri.
Sufyan al-Thawri was contemporary of Imam Hanifa. He had a long life. One example is true because the mothers came out, so the people after him. Right after Imam, you have to tell him after him.
Ibn Qudama?
Okay, Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi. Ibn Qudama, he's from the early years. Imam Safari, Ibn Taymiyyah. Imam Zahabi. Every one of these Imams follow. Even Sufyan al-Thawri, but he followed his own Mahdi, which dead. Nobody follows it. Right? The first one was Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi, Hanbali. Ibn Taymiyyah. Right? Hanbali. His father was Hanbali, his grandfather was Hanbali. They have a book in Usul Hanbali. Ibn al-Qayyim is Hanbali, I just visited his grave in Syria. Ibn Abi was Hanafi. And Shafi. No, he's Shafi. Anybody else? Ibn Abdul-Rahman. Anybody else? Sorry? Imam Shawkani, he is for the last 150 years, he had his own money. But he was a scholar who knew his everything. So I said, few people have been able to do this, not everyone. Anybody else? You understand what I'm saying? Anybody who says today, don't follow Allah, follow Allah. So what should we follow? Quran and Sunnah. Okay. Who's Quran and Sunnah? Your ulama's Quran and Sunnah. That's the problem. Nobody follows Quran and Sunnah today directly. Everybody follows it through something because it's too difficult to, you need to spend your whole life and understand it. So if you want to do this, but just don't follow everybody else's law. This is the problem. Alhamdulillah, millions after the 55 years of this fitness. Just a few people call others problem. They've understood the words, it's okay. So many people who used to say they don't follow, we follow Quran, they become Alhamdulillah. Judge us a big question. Any other questions? Then yes. You already asked the question. What's that? Liberalism is an ideology which makes a culture. Okay, very good question. He's saying that when the universities institute liberal culture and when we are away from the deen, how can we show them the way of Islam? Right? That's what you're saying. A lot of these people, there's different reasons why they are liberal. There are different causes and reasons why they don't want to follow religion and why they do. They're not all like that. But there's an issue, right? Shaitan is causing tons of reasons. One reason is they have ignorance of religion. Their parents did not teach them to follow Allah. They didn't have a good teacher. So they know they're Muslim. That's not